want to talk about a natural remedy for an anaphylactic shock from a severe allergy. And usually they use what's called an EpiPen, which they inject into your muscles, and that's epinephrine. And epinephrine has some very unique functions in that it can dilate the bronchial tubes. It can open up the coronary artery. It relaxes the smooth muscle. It increases more blood flow to the muscle and smooth muscle, and it increases the heart output. So it counteracts these very severe allergies. But there are contraindications for EpiPens if they have an overactive thyroid, if they have diabetes, or a disease that sounds like Parkinson's, but it's not. It's another disease called Parkinsonism. And then also, if you have glaucoma, can't take epinephrine, or high blood pressure, or angina, or if you have cardiac heart disease. Okay, so I want to give you an alternative, but let me just run through some of the symptoms. The symptoms can be life-threatening, but typically you'll get itchiness, a rash, your eyes might swell, your lungs will tighten up to the point where you can't breathe, your throat can tighten up, your tongue can severely swell where it can obstruct your breathing, you get shortness of breath, lightheadedness, you may even have a loss of consciousness, low blood pressure, or you might go into shock. And this can happen from an insect bite or some insect venom, or it could be from nuts like a peanut, or seeds like in sesame seeds, or milk, shellfish, fish, eggs, sulfites, which is in dried fruit, it's in red wine, byproducts of fermentation. So if they took nutritional yeast or apple cider vinegar, sourdough bread. Also, it can come from antibiotics, dyes, latex, exercise can trigger an anaphylactic shock in certain people, as well as side effects from vaccines, especially with a child. I mean, children that live on farms that are exposed to a lot of microbes, children that have pets have a much better immune system. So if your child gets sick, don't think that's a bad thing. If your child gets sick often, don't try to quickly suppress the fever or the cold or the sinus problem. Let them go through this immune system with good nutrition, but don't think it's a bad thing. What's a bad thing is living in a sterile environment for too long. All right, now let's get to some of the remedies for an anaphylactic shock. And the first one is called FAHF2. Okay, it's a combination of 9 Chinese herbs. I mean, it's double-blinded, placebo-controlled clinical trial tested against peanut-induced anaphylaxis. You can seek out this formula and get it if you have an anaphylactic shock, and just keep it ready, because if it can help you with a peanut allergy, chances are it can help you with other types of anaphylactic shock reactions. You know, there's a lot of Chinese herbs out there that have been known to help anaphylactic shock. So here are some other ones: sweet chestnut, Asian rose, and the third one is hardy orange. Okay, they're mainly to reduce the sensitivity over time, so it doesn't keep creating an anaphylactic shock or a severe hypersensitivity. So number 3 is called oral immunotherapy. Okay, and the effectiveness is like 60 to 80%, in which you're giving a person a very small dose of the thing that they're allergic to over months. Number 4, vitamin D. Vitamin D is very important to build the immune system up. It's really a steroid. It acts like cortisol, but it's an immune modulator. So it tends to regulate the immune system, which is exactly what you need to do. All right, number 5, fasting has been known to significantly reduce hypersensitivities and allergies because it corrects your immune system. Now, I would recommend doing a 3-day fast once a month. If you get anaphylactic shock for whatever allergy, and you did a 3-day fast every month, and then you also did routine intermittent fasting, I think you would see significant improvements just from that alone. And the last thing I want to mention is probiotics. Here's the thing. Right now, there is current research being done on developing certain type of probiotics that can greatly reduce allergies and even the intensity of anaphylactic shock. So the exact formula of which microbes or beneficial microbes you would need to take is just unknown right now. I think any probiotic would be better than no probiotic. I mean, think about what the side effect of an antibiotic is. Allergies, that's one of the side effects, and even anaphylactic shock. So probiotics are important since 80% of our immune system resides in our colon.